Back when I was hanging out in San Francisco in the startup scene, we had a saying, "Don't drink the Kool Aid."
Oh yeah!
What it means is that you shouldn't believe your own hype. And in order to evolve and grow, you need to remain critical of your company. Mostly we gave this advice because we saw how the bigger, more established tech companies seemed to pump out hype bots that were trained to defend their company to the death.
To the death!
No! To the pay.
I don't think I'm quite familiar with that phrase.
And the problem with this is that this defensiveness showed a certain, lack of self-reflection. And that lack of self-reflection, it leads to corporate myopia and general stagnancy, but also things that are much worse. Since then, I've realized that drinking the Kool Aid is actually a pretty common problem for organizations, and it makes you quite, antisocial. So today, I'm going to talk about why drinking the Kool Aid is bad for your brand and, frankly, not social at all. My name is Tara, and this is Truly Social. Many moons ago, I was so inspired by a presentation from Threadless founder Jake Nickel and their then CMO Jeffrey Kalmakoff. If you don't know Threadless, they're a pretty cool fashion company that sources all of their designs from independent artists and designers. These independent artists and designers submit their designs to a large community that votes on the ones that will be printed. They're also one of the first companies that help budding artists find alternative revenue sources online and have a great community. Pretty great company, but they also inspired me during their presentation when they told the audience one of their core company values, and that is, we are not good enough. Now that may sound like a negative daily mantra to have, but what it meant for Threadless was that they were always pushing themselves to grow. And what I've noticed over the years is that lots of companies have a hit or some sort of success, and then all of a sudden they plateau because, they take that lead for granted and they stop looking outwards.
The thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
We're not good enough means that you are looking outwards at your customers, the ever-changing attitudes in the world outside of your doors, other industries that you can learn from, and your competition, keeping yourself open to feedback, helping you improve and grow, and not getting too comfortable, keeping you agile enough to stay ahead. When you get too comfortable, close yourself to feedback and only look inwards, you run the risk of drinking the Kool Aid. Now that Kool Aid may taste delicious because it's familiar and safe and makes you feel great every day, but too much of it carries consequences.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
When I see PR train wrecks like United or Pepsi or even what's happening at Uber these days, I see organizations that have gotten so inward-looking and closed that they've completely lost their sense of reality. We all ask, what were they thinking? But really, they were thinking on a different plane. Plane. For another, too much Kool Aid leads to groupthink. Groupthink is a psychological phenomenon that occurs within a group of people in which the desire for harmony or conformity in the group results in an irrational or dysfunctional decision-making outcome. Part of creating a diverse organization is bringing outside viewpoints inside the organization. If in your organization you find yourself always in agreement, you should be worried, not celebrating.
So, do you like?
Well,
And too much Kool Aid leads to alienation of the outside world. A tight group that rejects dissension or outside voices has a name in high school: clique.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
And even worse, it has a name for grown-ups too: cult.
They laughed at us when we said that aliens existed, and they mocked us when we started wearing bubble wrap jumpsuits, but who's laughing now, huh?
In fact, the phrase drinking the Kool Aid comes from a very dark story of a cult gone terribly wrong: Jonestown. If you yourself are in an organization where things are incredibly harmonious and everyone is wildly in agreement, where you celebrate your awesomeness daily, you may be drinking the Kool Aid, and you should find ways to bring in dissenting points of view, especially those of your critics. Now, of course, you don't want a totally disharmonious organization, so you want to have a strong culture and work towards the same goals. But if you want to continue to grow and thrive and be agile as an organization, you need to look outwards, keep yourself open to feedback, good and bad, and avoid getting too comfortable.
I'll take my shoes off.
No, just don't take your shoes off.
I'm gonna be more comfortable if I take my shoes off.
My name is Tara, and this has been Truly Social.